Okay, so we got a 3 rim locker here. Cody, he's only running 2. That's amateur stuff, okay? Amateur hour. I'm gonna learn how to do a 3. Hopefully that gives me the upper hand. So this is Jerry with IRC.
So first thing that if you're gonna do a 3 rim lock, is same thing that you would normally do. Here, we'll do it with the breaker arm, just to be good. You're just gonna break one side off, just like normal. Make sure these things are kind of in there. Soft mousses, once you get it started, you can kind of just use just your weight to get the tire lever in there. I usually do 4, just make sure they're in. You can do 3, whatever, but I like to do 4. Keep these last 2 kind of close to each other, you know, so as you're breaking it off, it's kind of gets a little bit tighter. Just pulling those off. This is a nice soft mousse, so hopefully this one goes pretty smooth.
Coming off like butter.
Flip it over. And then just press it off. You know, when you're on the rim locks, you want to move the claw a little bit further out. Like, you shouldn't really be forcing anything, you know, like if you're forcing it, just give it time, maybe lube it or something. But like sometimes this rubber takes a little while to like peel over the edge. So sometimes just pressure, holding pressure will allow it to come over. So basically we've got 3 rim locks. I remove one of them because I don't want to stretch the bead around 3, even if it's sort of past. So I'll do it just the same way that I'm doing 2, right? You kind of grab the bead in there, work this over, grab your tire lever. By the way, these are probably the best types of tire levers for mousses. Just jam it in there, get that thing out of the way, drop it off. And then I'll take this and kind of like pop it under. So I get that bead like on the other side of the rim lock.
Okay.
So I can get it out. These Motion Pro rim locks, they have this little rubber thing. Sometimes they're a little bit, that rubber thing kind of hooks on stuff, but so you just got to be mindful of that to make sure that you can pass that rim lock over the bead. Just taking the nut off here. There we go. See how it's kind of just squirming its way out? There we go. Got it out. Remove the nut the rest of the way. Right onto the work mat.
Set it down there.
Yeah.
Safekeeping.
Yep. And then I'll just pop this thing out. Kind of work it out. Pop that thing out. Looks like the rim tape's grabbing it a bit. And now we go back. Now we're just basically now doing 2 rim locks. So really the only reason I do that, like I said, is to keep the bead from having to stretch too far, potentially breaking a bead or whatever.
Okay.
So now we're doing, get this thing back up into the drop center. And we're gonna pull this off. Like we're doing 2. This one, obviously you can leave it in. Same kind of move here. And then just pass that thing like that. And then we'll go back over to the breaker arm and just pry it off.
I like it.
We're off.
Beautiful.
Cool, so there's that. And then we'll lube that tire up and then we'll do a reinstall. So the lube we're using when it's dry especially is just this like tire mounting compound, they call it, Murphy's. It's basically soap. So it doesn't last as long as like silicone stuff by any means, but we're changing tires so often. The big positive is because it's soap, when you take your wheel off to change your tire, you can just clean everything out with a hose and basically have like clean your mousse off, clean your rim off, and just keep everything super clean, where that silicone stuff, bit of a better lubricant, but it's pretty tenacious. It kind of sticks on stuff forever.
Yeah.
So we just kind of
look at the technique.
Ladle this in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll take our brush and just kind of smooth it around. But yeah, these dry races will use this stuff. When we go to the East Coast rounds and there's a lot of water, we will use the silicone. And then I'll just kind of scoop the rest, like all the excess out. Okay. So that is somebody that put some thought into that. And we just shove it in. Okay. Just like two rim locks, kind of located one of the two rim locks. I just kind of push it in, hook that bottom bead, and I just kind of lean into it a little bit with my knee. And then just kind of hook the edges right where they're coming above the rim. Not too greedy here, just to get it started. And I don't have any lube on here. That's sort of by design to some extent, because it's so soft. I want that bead surface to be relatively fresh. You know, I'm sure there's remnants of lube on his rim surface, but I want it to try to stay on and not spin. So I'm just basically kind of like working this little area until it drops in. Not getting too greedy on this. There's no point. So this is where you can find a bit of a, is this stuck on there?
It looks like it's sticking and trying to keep it out.
Yeah, that sometimes can happen. So yeah, Charles just pointed out this rim lock's sticking a little bit. So I'll just push it in, let that thing drop in.
There we go.
So this is just a little tip. Like, try to get something under here before you get too committed. Because if you get like most of the way, it's really hard to get something in there. So I'll just kind of put one in there and just hold it. And I'm working this edge. That way when it's there, and I go over. Because if that little bit was like not quite there, it's just a pain to kind of get in and out.
Oh yeah.
So now we got one side on. We're gonna pass this rim lock here. Because again, we're not gonna put the other one in yet, because we don't want to stretch the bead too much. So I'm just basically using these ends here, hooking the bead, trying to get underneath it. And then these often take a little bit of a poke, which is always sketchy to do on the plastic ones, but just a little bit of a poke, get it seated, push it over, and I grab the stem, especially on these soft mousses. I can just push it in and carefully bring it over.
Okay, we're 2 in, but
so we got
now we
two.
gotta add.
Now our third one, basically this is soft enough, the tire's warm, it's been in the sun. I'm just gonna push it out of the way, drop that thing in, and then put the washer and the nut on. And then you'll see this little rubber flappy thing. It's good for protecting tubes, but it kind of makes this a little bit of a pain. You got to kind of work extra hard to get around this. We actually will take these off on our race bikes. We'll just pull that rubber thing off.
Nice.
Because these are we really like these rim locks. They're tough, they're very lightweight. So I kind of have this behind it. And then I'm gonna give the little bit of a smash. And you can kind of see how that little flapper is like in the way.
Oh yeah.
That's just that little bit of a pain to get that thing over.
There we go.
There we go. And then we just, same thing, push that in, bring it over, make sure you're catching it the right way. If you're uncertain, give it a little pull. There we go.
Beautiful.
And that's it. Now we just put the top edge on. I like to kind of push everything down in just so it's lining up. Basically, most times, I'll just start just upstream of the rim lock. I'm gonna work this way.
Okay.
Get this thing in. Make sure I'm not like binding or whatever. Push that rim lock in, grab my first bite here. And if it sticks like that, pretty much good to go. But I want to keep an eye on this as I pull, further. I want that to drop in. So this is where, like on a stiffer moose, you'd put one in like this, right? So as you pull, it'll drop in.
Okay.
This one I probably could have just pushed with my hand once we got to that. Same thing on this. We're gonna watch, pull this in, take the bite, make sure that it's capturing and it's gonna drop in. Do a little bit more. Gotta work that just around. So this is where I take kind of a bigger bite than like I normally would if there was a lot of tension. And that's basically to get this thing to suck into the drop center.
Okay.
Right? If I'm just taking little bites, sometimes it's not like enough pressure to pull it into the drop center. So I'll take a bit of a bigger bite. Always be careful of these things. Like I lean into these. And then I'll just push in. And I'm just pulling like gently.
Oh, there it drops right in.
Constant pressure. Like I'm not pulling super hard, just enough. And I just watch this little line for it to start sucking in. And if it's not sucking in with like gentle medium pressure, then it's like something's going on. So then we keep going. I'll take a small bite here. And then again, our rim lock. This one's a little sticky, but we grab the bite here. I'm holding this one because these will fly out as I go over. Trying to make sure that thing comes in, which it did. And then there's a couple things you could do. This is pretty tight here. You can either back out just a little, stick this in, or we could spin it around and use the claw to push it in, but we can get it in this way. And we're in.
I love it.
So
you're only using the claw if you can't get the last, get a spoon in there.
On install anyway.
Yeah.
When it's on a dismount, I'll use that to pull everything off.
I like it.
So we can see here, we're not totally mounted. So this is where it's just kind of the art or whatever, the just messing around until it kind of comes in. First thing I'll try is, like a lot of tires, ours specifically, have this little ridge that sometimes you can kind of hook. So I'll try to get the tire lever basically to hook that little ridge where it's dismounted and see if I can
popped up a
get
little.
it to come out. The very minimum, you want to make sure that before you tighten these things that the bead is out, right? Like you don't want to be, if it's like de-beaded here, for example, right? You don't want to tighten that thing up until it's popped out. So we'll just try, see what happens. So you can see I'm kind of now just chasing it around. So this one we're probably going to have to add air.
Okay.
So I'll make sure I move that the de-beaded part away from the rim lock. So we'll just tighten this.
Okay.
You don't want to be super tight, right? Because you got like three, you kind of want to be somewhat uniform. You don't want to just crank one and then like leave the other ones loose.
Get it kind of even.
And I'm just trying to basically bottom out these things because we want to keep air from escaping as when we hit it with the air nozzle, right? We want to kind of seal that up a little bit.
Okay.
So when I was reaching below here, I kind of do this. As I was reaching below, I could feel that the bead was off on the other side. So we're gonna get that sorted before we tighten this thing up. Sometimes you just got to get it out just a little bit and then you tighten it up and that the rim lock will kind of drive it the rest of the way out. And I'm basically just watching, see if this thing comes out like this line. See how it's getting pushed out?
Yeah.
So we're good.
Okay.
If that didn't push out, I would have to keep messing with it until it came out.
Okay.
All right. So just snugged up a little bit, kind of seal up that air gap or that gap where the air could escape. If you run a valve stem, just make sure that it's like the normal length rubber ones that go in like a tire, you know what I mean, like a car tire or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can do it from a tube. Just make sure that it sticks out long enough because you want to be able to get that thing seated on the valve stem, right? Like you want to just be able to, like, if this is the valve stem, just right in.
Okay.
Because it delivers the most amount of air, and you would remove the valve stem core, right?
Okay.
So it'd be a valve stem with no core, and that gives the most amount of air to kind of give us the best chance to hit this. If you leave the valve core in and you use like a regular, you know, like inflator, like tire inflator chuck, it restricts the air a lot. It doesn't kind of blow on as easy. So this guy does not have that, so we're going to use just a little nozzle here. We've cut it and opened up the hole a little bit to get some more air.
Okay.
Because you're just basically trying to get as much volume as you can, working with what you got. So we'll see how this goes.
So what if they don't have an extra
Like a hole?
like that? Game over?
Kinda, yeah. You can sometimes put them on the stand, put it like in 6th gear,
Just kind of.
and rip it. It's super dangerous. I mean, obviously you do that, cover the rear brake.
We're just not gonna have it beaded today, guys.
That sometimes works. That if not, generally it's probably not going to beat up. So it's one of those things, like a soft mousse makes it really easy to change. You know, I mean, it's 3 rim locks. This could have been 4 or 5, whatever. We didn't struggle for that, but now it's so soft it's hard to hold the bead on or get the bead on, right? So it's, you sort of always pay the price somewhere.
Yep.
But we'll see. We got the compressor turned up to like 140 PSI. Usually what's going to happen if it doesn't work, either the rim tape's trashed and it's going to leak out the spoke holes, or more often than not, it leaks out these rim lock holes. That's why I snugged them up. So we'll see. So it came on
There we have it.
on that side. Let's double check. We didn't quite get the satisfying like pop, but it did work. Yep. So both of them are on. And then, wait, there's more. So this is probably me just being a little bit over careful, but because you can capture like say it was debeaded here, right? Like you can capture the tire bead in kind of like a pinch spot.
Yeah.
I'll loosen all the rim locks again, bounce the tire and try to reset so that it doesn't just drop off in the same place again.
Okay.
Or give us the best chance for it to not to drop off in the same place again.
I like it.
It really, I don't think it affects performance. I mean, I've seen, you know, like factory dudes with the tire halfway debeaded and they don't care. You know,
Yeah.
they still go. So anyway, I got those loosened up. I just kind of give it a couple bounces, try to get that bead sort of relaxed. And then just tighten them back up.
Love it.
So on these, I'm not tightening them crazy tight because that can also kind of put some weird pressure on the bead and start pulling it in, you know, when you've got different points of the bead like captured. So, and with 3, there's a lot of friction. So
Yeah.
you don't need to like crank on it.
Okay.
You know?
I like it.
That's it.
Sweet. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no.
So there
Thank
you have it, guys. That's 3 rim locks with Jerry and IRC. So catch you guys later.